Now, your journey in DJing, we went through you playing basketball, all that, but eventually you go to college. And when you go to college, you hit CAU, right? And now you in Atlanta. How was that? I mean, AAU takes you almost everywhere, but now you're dependent upon where you're living at. Like, you got to go jump right into the middle of the ocean and swim your way to shore, right?
Yep.
Now you're in Atlanta. How was that experience you first getting there?
My immediate thought process was to make money. You know what I mean? All through anybody you asked me coming up to fact check this, from 10, 11 years old to about 18, all I did was hustle. And I would cut grass, water plants, clean cribs, clean cars, shovel snow. And my mom she would always tell this story about me taking all the money and coming in every day, throwing the money on my floor in the bedroom, go back out and hustle.
Wow.
But I always wanted to have money. I never wanted to ask nobody for nothing. So I just wanted to have money. She'd be like, where you getting this pile of money? I'm going to clean Uncle Buster's house. I'm just going to clean this out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just what I was doing. And when I came to Atlanta, the first thing I was like, oh, they slow. I'm about to go in and just clean up real quick. But it didn't work out like that. You know what I mean? I went to school. The Olympics was just coming out. I think the Olympics was 96, 97.
So when the bombing happened.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 96 it happened, and then 97 came to school. So a lot of things were changed. They had the University Homes, was a project right next to the college. I was walking through there to go to class. I had to deal with that. Then I had to play basketball with them. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then it was a lot of culture shock and going, but I'm meeting people from different places. And then people coming down like, I'm from Philly. I'm like, nigga, I never saw you in Philly. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, somebody's from Chester, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody, you know, and that's probably Philly to me.
It ain't.
When you're down south or somewhere else, you say you're from Chester, I'm giving you a pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they, you know, when that's happening, you're trying to connect with people in Philly. So the first couple of people that I met that was really from Philly was Drum and Trendsetter.
Yeah.
And both of them were actually from Philly. Most of the people I meet, they be like, oh, I'm from Delaware, I'm from this. But I'm like, all right, you from Camden, I give you a pass. But nobody really from Philly. I met a couple of people. Jawan was from Philly, you know, a couple of those guys. But I could tell by how they haircut and how they was dressing, like where they was from. But I think that was how I adapted to Atlanta at first. Get your Philly crew, and then you move around.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And then once I felt like, you know, Drum and them a little older than me. So they were already off campus. They was already doing stuff. So for the main part, I was dealing with some New York guys from Harlem. And a lot of those guys, we was just rolling. So I was the New York nigga for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I adapted to Atlanta at first. The first year I got here, that's how I adapted to Atlanta.
So you meet Drum. All right, see, this is where we get into the, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you meet Drum. What is that first, DJ Drama and Don Cannon? I'm just thinking about like the biopic. Like what's the scene, bro? Like,
so he went to school with this kid named Jabari. Jabari and I was neighborhood friends. He from West Philly, I'm from West Philly. We went to the prom together, all that. He had his girl there in prom. I went with my girl prom, and we went. He was like, yo, you going to Atlanta? I'm going to Atlanta, but who you got to link up with when you go down there is DJ Drama. He already popping. He was already here with the Roots and Bahamadia and all that. That's the person you got to link up with, because you fired and he fired. Y'all got to connect. So I'm like, all right. So when I get to school, I already had Jabari down there, but he ain't ever introduced me. He's like, I don't really, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I don't know, dude. So the first time I meet him, he on a promenade, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, yo, what's up? My name Cannon. No, I was Brasco at the time. I was like, yo, I'm Brasco. I'm Brasco. He was like, what's up? But he's Drama at this point. At school, he going crazy. So he's selling mixtapes. He moving around already. He worked, and then Marcos Peter, they had all the stuff. So I'm like, what's up, man? I make beats, this, that, and the third. He's like, yeah, whatever, young boy. That's how he was doing me. Like, yeah. He always say when I say that. He's like, yeah, whatever. But when I gave him the beats, he like, he took the beats. He called me the next day like, yo, your beats is crazy. You got to come by the crib. I got Jax and all these people that he working with at the crib. Fat Beats was open. Talib Kweli was like, he was in pockets.
He was already moving around.
He was already in pockets. He had the soul shit going on. This was Dread Drum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen the pictures.
Yeah. So this is Dread Drum. Dread Drum was on some, you know what I mean? No shoes in his crib. No, you know what I'm saying? So when we finally linked up, we was able to I was giving him beats. He was managing me for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just moving around, just giving my beats to everybody. And the scene was that. And then once he found out I was a DJ, he was like, oh, nigga, we got to, you know what I'm saying? Give me a mixtape. I'm going to sell it in my pack. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, again, he used to set up on this green trash can on a promenade, and he had a yellow, like a circular yellow radio, and that's how he would get his shit off. He was on some dance hall shit at first. When I first heard him, he was like rocking dance hall shit.
And he had the dread.
Yeah, he had dread. So he was in that mode. Right. Chew stick, you know what I'm saying?
Chew sticks. Oh, my
you know
God,
what I'm saying? He was in his bag. So that's how I really formed a relationship with him. And then Trendsetter was unique as well because when I went on prom, I went to IHOP, right? I ran into this dude, Ace McCloud. Ace McCloud was like, young boy, what you doing with your life? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? I'm like, man, you know, I'm about to go down Atlanta. He said, I'm down Atlanta. What you doing down Atlanta? I'm like, shit, I'm going to school. He said, I'm in school. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I go to Morehouse or whatever, man. We got to link up when you get down there, da-da-da-da. When I get down there, he introduced me to Sense. You know what I mean? And he was telling me everybody, he already knew Drum. He just ain't go, you know, there.
So this is basically the backstory of Aphilliates.
That's the backstory. And Ace McCloud, he actually came up with the name Aphilliates.
Wow.
That's the craziest thing.
How did that come about?
He just came up with a name. Shit, we was getting managed by a couple people, and all the names just wasn't right, bro. Like they tried to do pH balance. We like pH balance, nigga. What the fuck? Right. So then he came with the Aphilliates name, and there was a crew in Philly, but they was rappers. It was called Affiliation. It just ain't spelled the same way we spelled it. But we didn't know till later when they came back. It's like, oh, they got the same name. I was like, nah, we on some, you know, Affiliates, you know what I mean? PHA, Atlanta,
with the big A,
PH, Philly, you know. But at that time, I was Brasco. I was Donnie Brasco. I never liked my real name. So then Sense used to always run around like, yo, Don Cannon. He was like, that should be your real name. I was like, man, I hate my real name. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I found out Donnie Brasco was a cop. And I was like, yeah, I got to get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that's what happened. I changed my name because I found like he was a cop. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then we get the Cannon. How do we get the Cannon?
It's my last name.
That's your last name?
Yeah.
I should have known that. But...
yeah. My real name is Donald Cannon.
Donald Cannon. Yep. I mean, and then Donald Cannon, you started doing mixtapes.
I was doing mixtapes at 14.
Yeah, you was doing mixtapes at 14, so, but I mean, like, now we in the 2000s yet?
Yeah, so about 2000, I did my first joint with Drum, and it's called The After Party. So basically, Drum used to do this club called Karma, and it used to be a real small club downtown Atlanta, and it was like a downstairs and upstairs, real hip-hop, you know what I mean? And he used to be like, yo, come to the club with me. I used to always carry his crates, all the gigs. Sometimes I filled in for him, like, you know, sometimes he didn't want to open up. I opened up. I'd do the front room. Like, just being in the presence, like Biddy Barnes was running the club. He'd be like, yo, we don't got nobody DJing in the front room. The front room is packed. I go DJ till they get to the back for Drum. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I felt like, man, I need to make something that's like for the people that's leaving after the club. Everybody left the club, went to Landmark, and went to these places, but they had no music to listen to. Mm-hmm. So I made this joint. It was called the After Party, and it was hip hop, R&B vocals over hip hop beats. Mm. So I was doing stuff like that, like Put Faith over Shook Ones.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had one of them joints. And it did real well on Drum's table. So he was like, bro, that's your niche. Just keep doing those joints because you blend better than everybody.